guys, it's Erica, and as you can see here, I have a whole bunch of water propagations that need to be potted. If you guys have any video suggestions or anything you'd like to see, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoy it. Alright, let's get started. So I'm gonna be starting off with this big tub because it takes up a lot of space and it has a lot of pothos in it, and you just gotta get them all out. So I think the best thing to do right now, take this off the workspace, and then I'm going to separate the plants by what kind of plant they are, because I don't know, some people like how mixed pothos look, but I don't. I like everything to be like, yeah, this is a golden pothos, this is a Cebu blue, you know, keep it separated. I'm just gonna also show you the roots on all these. This is a marble queen, and this was also taken from my friend. This is actually really pretty though. I like how it's yellowish and green. That is so beautiful. So I have my marble queens. This one's roots aren't that big, but maybe I won't pot this one yet. I think I'm just not gonna pot this one yet, but then that means I don't want to pot this one yet. So I think I'm just gonna transfer these to a smaller cup. This is a Taco Bell cup. The beauty about water propagation is that you just cut it and then leave it in the water, and you can forget about it. You shouldn't forget about it. You should change the water every week, but sometimes you don't remember, and the plants are okay, they're fine. Also, you can see the roots growing, so you know when it's time to pot them or not. It's just really fun. Okay, we gotta get the rest of this out. Dripping water everywhere. Here is what's going on. This is as you can see, this used to be a really big pothos that my friend, he damaged a really big pothos, so we just took the cuttings of the big leaves, and as you can see, because this whole entire branch was in the water, you can see that the stem does have some rotting. So this is why you do not want to put your entire plant in the water, just the node where the root is, so we can avoid rotting like this. And also, look at these roots. I'm gonna have to plant it sideways like that, but that's all right. I also have this other one, which same thing is going on, except this one doesn't seem to be rotted, so that's really great. Another marble queen that is not ready, put that back. Here is an Enjoy pothos, which didn't root, and it looks like it just rotted. Sometimes propagations don't root, and that's okay. That's why I have so many here, because sometimes they don't root, and it's better to have other ones to be happy about than just have that one propagation that didn't root, and it's just kind of really sad. Probably gonna put it back in water to see if it roots a little later, but I doubt it, but why not try? Another giant golden pothos. This is an example of a giant pothos that didn't root, but it does have new growth that you can see here, so that's a good sign that it probably will root in the future. So I'm gonna keep this one in water as well. And then I just have more golden pothos. This is mostly golden pothos. Here's a Cebu blue that I cut from my plants that I got at Walmart, so we'll set those aside. So we're gonna get started. Let me move this out of the way. For these giant plants, I think I'm gonna need a bigger pot than one that I brought in. So I'm gonna go get a bigger pot really fast. While I went to go get a pot, I found this little snake plant that I had in the water that rooted, and it has a little offshoot. That one I just kind of threw in there. Didn't really think it would root, but it did. Here's the pot I'm gonna use. It's kind of really big, and I only have a limited amount of cacti soil left, so I'm just gonna wait till the end to pot this golden pothos. This is my Hindu rope that I propagated before. As you can see, I left it out in the sun. I forgot about him and he got burned, so I'm really sad about that. But here I have another little cutting of a Hoya Hindu rope, and It only started out with this one leaf and it grew these other 2 leaves and some roots. So I'm extremely happy. I wasn't expecting this to root either because it only had 1 leaf on it. And it was really short cutting, but it did. So I'm really happy. And I'm kind of tired of leaving it in water. So I'm gonna pot it with this one who has some separating leaves. I'm pretty sure that I saw a spider in one of these curly leaves too, so I'm a little worried he's gonna make an appearance right now. I'm just gonna put it close to here. I'm not really gonna do a whole entire potting for this guy. I'm just gonna add it in. And hopefully it will do fine. So cute. I think I'm just gonna pot this Cebu blue. I think I'll use this one. Yes, that would look nice. So I'm just gonna fill this and then put this little guy in. So you can see here that this Cebu blue is connected, but it has two roots here, 2 root systems. So I'm just gonna cut it because I kind of want to plant them separately. I only have regular scissors, so don't come for me. And I'm just gonna pot it like this. This is also a great way to fill out any pots that need a little bit more, you know, cover on top, because some plants can get dangly and they're not really full on top. It's kind of empty, which is what I'm doing with this Hoya. It was really blank on top because this plant was literally just 1 Hoya rope. So I'm trying to fill that one out. Another one I'm trying to fill out is my philodendron, my heartleaf philodendron, just the regular green one, because it has very long vines but it doesn't have anything on top. So I cut a bunch of cuttings for that plant and I have them rooting in water. I did it like maybe a week ago and one of them already started to have some roots, so I'm really happy. It's going great so far. And this one is looking pretty bare on top also, but I also took more Cebu blue cuttings, so I'll add them to this when they're ready to be potted. Yeah, looking cute. Next, I will pot, oh, I have a philodendron that I really need to pot. All the roots in this jar are from the Philodendron Brazil, so this needs to be potted. This one, I definitely waited kind of a little bit too long to put it into soil. Hold on, let me get a plant I'm gonna put it with. So here's my Philodendron Brazil, and this is kind of the same thing that I'm doing with my Cebu blue that I just potted. This one, as you can see, it's really blank like the Cebu blue was, so I made another cutting to put in here. When you are potting a plant that had roots this long, you need to be careful about how often you water it. They like to be watered more often because they were used to being in water. So normally a Philodendron Brazil, I would water a certain amount of time. Like normally I would water a Philodendron Brazil maybe, we'll say I water it once a month, once a week. But because this plant was used to being in a more watery environment, I'm gonna have to keep it watered more often. So I'll maybe need to water it 3 times a week. And that's completely fine because it's whatever is best for your plant. So pretty much watering schedules are centered around your plant. It's whatever is best for your plant. If someone says that they water their whatever plant once a week and you feel like yours is looking like it really needs some water after 3 days, that's fine. That's probably just because your plant is still getting accustomed to the dry soil. And that's all good. Just like people, plants are all different and they need different things. So there we go, we got another potted. Next, I am going to pot my, I want it to be in this pot because I think this green and this purple look so incredibly gorgeous together that I want to have it in here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one in here. This pot I found at a thrift store and it was kind of expensive. It was $3, but it also had the nursery pot inside that fits perfectly because this one doesn't have a drainage hole. So I'm going to pot it into this nursery pot. For this one, I'm gonna start with it in the pot already because these roots are kind of long. So they're already in there. So when you're potting up a plant that you had in water the longer you've had it in water, the longer it's going to take to adapt to a soil environment. So you want to be careful with the watering. Usually if they were in a propagation station, or if they were in water, if they were rooting in water, they will need to be watered more often because they have water roots. And soil roots tend to be more tough. Of course, they don't need as much water as these do. So definitely always be aware about that because you don't want your plants to dry up and die after you took all that time to propagate them. So cute. I'm gonna need to fill out this pot more. But I think these plants are such a beautiful, beautiful color. And I'm obsessed. I think this one is my favorite one that I've potted so far. Look at it in this pot. Oh my gosh. Cute. And I have my watermelon peperomia. Okay, look at this. Look at these roots. Are they not amazing roots? So the one with the bigger roots is the one I'm going to be potting today because this one has been in here for a long time. I'm going to put up on the screen how many days it's been in here because I don't remember off the top of my head, but I did not think that it would root, but here it is. Here are the roots. Yeah, this one's ready to be potted. This one is gonna have a little more time in here until it can be potted. So the thing that I'm worried about for the watermelon peperomia is that the little babies come from the bottom so they could pop up, and I'm scared to bury it too deep because then the babies won't pop up. And I'm also afraid, I'm just super afraid of killing this plant because I'm not good at taking care of peperomias. Peperomias are my worst plant to take care of. And then I also want this plant to stay up. I don't want it to droop. So if you guys have any recommendations how to keep this plant alive while it's transitioning from water to soil, those would be greatly appreciated because I need this baby to survive. But here it is so far. I hope I didn't plant it in too deep. I'm gonna water it more often than I feel comfortable watering it, just to start off. I'm just gonna wait for this little snake plant to root further before planting it. So he's gonna go in with the others. And I'm going to pot up this crazy golden pothos. The pot that I'm using is kind of really big, so I'm gonna have to use some, I don't have any more cacti mix. I only have regular potting mix, so I'm just gonna use that, and I'm gonna mix in a bunch of perlite. So here is my Espoma organic potting mix that I will be using. And then of course adding in some perlite, which by the way I'm starting to run low on, and then some orchid bark. This is fine orchid bark, I'm pretty sure. Fine grade orchid bark, which I like. I think it's easier on the plant's roots. Let me mix it all together. So I have the perlite for aeration and I have the orchid bark in here for aeration. So this plant will hopefully dry out very quickly. The soil will be well draining, which is always what we want. We never want to have soggy soil because that is the quickest way to kill plants. Overwatering it. Actually, I think it's the second quickest way to kill plants because the first is leaving it out in the sun when they do not belong in the sun. Mid-afternoon sun for a indoor plant is just a recipe for disaster. This is my soil mixture so far. You can kind of see the little bits of orchid bark. You can definitely see the perlite because that's what we call contrast. This does have a hole stopper in it, so I'm good with that. I don't need to worry about soil coming through. Okay, I don't know if I touched on why I love propagating plants in water, but it is because I can see the roots growing. I know what's going on in there. Because I just don't really have faith in plants actually rooting. That's just me, that's just my own little problem. And usually whenever I try doing it in soil, whenever I try doing it in soil, it usually doesn't work. Even if I do the same plant, one in soil and one in water, the one in water will root and then the one in soil will rot. So I just have a problem. I can't see what's going on. I don't know if it's rooted. The only plants that I've successfully rooted in soil are a watermelon peperomia and what else? There's one more plant, I think. A watermelon peperomia, and that might be that might be the only plant that I successfully propagated in soil. So that just goes to show why I love to water propagate. There we go. I don't think this is enough soil, but I'll make it work. So this one is definitely very bare, and it looks like the pot is really big. But I'm gonna definitely be careful about watering it because I just want it in this pot. Hopefully it doesn't stay soggy for too long. But yeah, there we go. Oh, I took out the the bottom part holding it together. I think this plant is gonna be happy in its new home. There we go, these great big leaves. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a little bit and then I'm gonna come back and we're just gonna pull our thoughts together. Okay, you guys, so I have all my dazzling plants here that have been potted from their water propagations. I think they look really nice. Just a few things to remember from water propagating is that you want to change the water out every week, but remember that it's okay if you don't. Like, your plants aren't gonna suffer if you don't have time or something like that, or if you just forget about it, because that big tub of water, it was really huge and I wasn't about to change that water every single week. So that one was changed less often than it should have been. But the plants turned out to be fine, so that's okay. Also remember that not all propagations are gonna root. And that's just a chance that you're taking when you're cutting your little plant. But it shouldn't discourage you if it doesn't root. Just try again. You could also use rooting hormone, but I don't think it's necessary unless it's a plant that you really need to root. Like, if you bought a cutting online and you need to root it, maybe then you should use a rooting hormone just to be extra careful and extra sure that it's gonna root. Also, I've heard that rooting hormone has helped plants root faster. That might take a while, but I'm not sure because I never used it. And then also give your plant good light conditions when it's propagating, because it still needs to grow. If anything, it needs more energy to grow roots. And then sometimes it'll also push out new growth, which is really nice. Remember that once you've potted it up, they're probably gonna need to be watered more often than it would need to be watered if you propagated it in soil or just the plant that you bought at the store, because those roots are used to being in entirely water. So they're used to more wet conditions. So just give them that extra water that they need. But you can be careful because root rot is a real fear, you guys. Root rot is a real problem and we all want to avoid it. So just check to see if your plants are drooping or the way they're acting, if they need more water. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I really enjoy potting up my propagations. It feels like my work has come to fruition. I'm gonna water them as soon as I end this video, so don't worry about them. I'm gonna take good care of them. That's it for today's video. Remember to leave any comments. Oh, especially about this little guy because I need it to stay alive. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe because I would love to see you again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!